Howdy. Hopefully everything is going good. As usual, I wanted to get this started like an hour and a half ago, but of course, trying to set something new up always takes like 40 times longer than I think it will. You'd think by this point, because that's literally always been the case, you'd think by this point I would know better. You know? You'd think by this point I would be able to account for that. It looks like it's going. I'm gonna make sure that audio and everything of that nature is good before I get started properly. Is anyone here? Can anyone hear me? Ooh, 6 watching now. Hell yeah. We're doing big numbers. So this is something that I wanted to do a good, 2.5 weeks ago. Or somewhere around that weekend. But our apartment's floor has been increasingly, falling to pieces. Our kitchen appliances we're sliding inward, and so they put us up in a temporary place while they fix our apartment, however long that's going to take. And it just so happened that I think the literal day that we moved in here was Sonic's birthday. So, hello everyone! Hello to Josh Kosh 1995, good name. Cargrock 386, JP Brooks Live. Thank you so much. Alright, I should probably get started, because Alicia gets off work in an hour and a half, and I don't know, I'll probably just keep going even once she gets home, but I wanted to do this while she was at work, basically. And I decided that this year, so if you don't know the history of... Typically, I've traditionally only done marathons on the, anniversaries ending in 0. So in 2011, for the 20th anniversary, I had no online presence whatsoever, but just purely for myself, I spent the entire day marathoning every mainline Sonic game to that point. And by the way, we might have people join us later. I've got something set up to where people can jump in and out if they want to, certain people. But we'll see if that happens. So that was 2011. Did a whole marathon, did a whole thing. Then in... Let's see, obviously we want to play Sonic. Then in 2021, by that point, I did have this, I was doing this, and I did I think it was about 18 and a half hours, I did a live stream, where I again played every single mainline Sonic game to that point. That is not what I'm doing today. We are saving that level of of dedication for, I guess it'll be the 40th anniversary. Good God, that's insane. We're only 5 years away from the 40th anniversary of Sonic the Hedgehog. But I think what I'm going to do for this one is I'll play the games that came out, or at least some of the games that came out approximately around those big anniversary years. So, starting with, of course, the very first Sonic game, Sonic the Hedgehog 1, 1991. Then I'm going to do 3D Blast, which was... Sega wasn't making a big deal out of Sonic anniversaries at that point, but 3D Blast was the game that came out in the 5th anniversary year, 1996. Then, of course, the first one they did make a big deal about was Sonic Adventure 2. That was 2001. But, again, I don't want to make this, I don't think I'm going to get all of this done today. Because even that is probably more time than I have. But I just want it to be a sort of chill, casual, fun thing. Celebrate Sonic's birthday 2.5 weeks early. Seems fashionable. No 2011 era Bronze Age live streams. Yeah, if I'd known that I would have streamed it, I would have gotten on Justin.tv. Metal Gundam says, it's been a long time since the last stream. Yeah, I think the last one was back in February when Mega Mix Mania first came out. Which was also the first time that I tried doing this Discord integration thing. And again, if anybody shows up there, we'll see if that works. I'm expecting that the audio will immediately be worked. Are you gonna play Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis? No, okay, yeah, I didn't finish the rest of my plan. I want to, like I said, I want to do something a little different. That's why I'm playing, you know, like in the 30th anniversary stream, I played Sonic 1, 2, and 3 on original hardware. This time I'm playing Origins Ultra Fix in mirror mode. And I don't think I've ever beaten Sonic 1 in mirror mode. So, anyway, for 06 then, since, again, the plan is to do something a little different where I can, I think I'm going to play, Project 06, which, as far as I can remember, I have never done on stream before. So that should be fun, give me a lot to talk about. Then, God, I hate Sonic 1 special stages. These are... These might be second only to Lost World for 3DS as my least favorite special stages in the series. Just something I get that I don't think they're literally the worst. I don't think they're literally that bad. There's just something about them that really doesn't agree with my brain. Put another way, I'm bad at them. I remember one time, I think it was when Origins first came out, I like, failed the same special stage, and I guess I'll get there. I failed the same special stage, like, 4 times in a row, and then handed the controller to Alicia, who, like, never plays Sonic games, and she got it her first time. Found you because of Metro. Love your content. It's so nice to meet you. Oh, I don't know who Metro is, I don't think, but thank you. At least the name doesn't ring a bell. It's not that they're nauseating, even. Like, the rotation doesn't bother me or anything. It's just, like, something about them really throws me off. Like, something about them, like, I have never been able to get good at them no matter how many times I've played them. I don't really know why. Like, I prefer the rotating special stages in Sonic 4 Episode 1 a great deal. Like, that's how bad it is. And I'm also playing with the Max Control mod, which means I got the Super Peel out. And I gotta say, Mirror Mode really does throw off, like... Normally I can... I'm doing fine. It's not like I'm playing badly. Well, I say that. Just, it really throws off my sense of muscle memory, I guess. Because, like, typically I can play these games with my eyes closed, more or less. But definitely not true like this. Like, it's so weird having him appear on that side of the screen, even. Saw somebody ask a second ago... Where was that? Somebody was asking, how do I introduce Sonic to my coworker, I think it was? Was that it? Where was that? How do I subtly introduce my Sonic obsession to my new coworkers? I don't think it's worth being subtle about, honestly. Like, people are gonna think what they think when they find out that you like Sonic regardless. That's always been my experience. So, I mean, you know, pun intended, I would say just go whole hog about it. Whatever that happens to mean for you. Haters gonna hate. Oh yeah, this is really messing with me. Like, I'm so used to, you know, going right and then going left. Like, just doing this because this pattern is so, like, repetitive. It feels like I'm going the wrong way. Oh, like it took me a second there. This is nice. I really appreciate it. Like, it's such a simple little thing, but as somebody who has played these games thousands of times easily, just having something that makes them feel a little bit fresh. Very appreciated. One of a lot of things that Origins never seems to get any credit for. I thought you were going to say, I don't feel like it's worth it to let anyone know that you like... No, it's absolutely... I have never tried to hide the fact that I like Sonic, but... I just don't think you should be subtle about it. Like, it's insane. To this day, like, okay, I graduated from elementary school 27 goddamn years ago, okay? I still have people that I haven't talked to since then somehow recognize me in public, and one of the first things out of their mouth is always, "Do you still like Sonic?" That's how much of the Sonic guy that I was. Oh, I think this is the yeah, this is the special stage I really hate. I'm gonna check in on my Discord here and make sure everything is okay. I think it's okay. All right. I've never really played Sonic. What would you say is a good introductory game? That's a good question, and it kind of depends on what you like, or what you usually dig about video games. If you like 2D games, I think that, honestly, see, a lot of people would tell you Mania. And it's not that Mania isn't great. Mania is awesome. It's just that Mania also has a live system, and I know that can really rub some people the wrong way. There is no way, without modding, obviously, to not have a live system in Mania, and I just know a lot of people who bought Mania based on all the good vibes that it had, and then got walled by Flying Battery Zone, and then, like, lost all of their lives in Act 2, and didn't want to, like, start the entire level over, like, the entire zone over again. And that's totally fair. So, I guess if you like 2D games, I would probably just recommend getting Sonic Origins. It's very often on sale, it's on everything, it's very easily accessible. Reason being, while I'm using a mod to put the live system back in, but, like, in Anniversary mode, it normally doesn't have one. I will say, like, Mania probably is a little bit easier overall. And within Origins, then, I would say you should probably play Sonic 2 and 3 first, that is. Sonic 1 is a little rough around the edges, and Sonic CD is just kind of, it's very much its own thing. But if you want to have a good first impression, Sonic 2 and 3. Although, I don't know, even 3 is, like, the levels are enormous and complicated. But you won't have to worry about time overs anyway. Who the fuck decided it was a good idea to put that spring there? That was so hard to dodge. Anyway. His name was Hirokazu Yasuhara. As far as 3D games go, it's very easy, very, very easy to recommend Sonic X Shadow Generations. The unfortunate thing about it is that everything in Generations will hit harder if you have context for it, but at the same time at this point, like, that version just has so much to offer, it's at such a good price, and it is so dang good that, yeah, that's probably the way I'd go. If not that, then, I mean, I think Frontiers is pretty dang good too, though. Like, Frontiers isn't my kind of game in a lot of ways, but the open zone stuff does give you, like, if you're brand new to Sonic, I know a lot of people, Arlo, for example, who had never really gotten a handle on Sonic's, like, controls and mechanics before in 3D. But, like, the fact that you have this big open hub area to just sort of explore and run around in gives you, like, a good low-tension opportunity to do that. And I think, like, the skills that you build in Frontiers will then transfer to other games. Oh, I forgot. I didn't get 50 rings there. Oh, well. Young Average Joe, I recognize you. You say, yeah, I think Colors Ultimate's another good one to start with. Colors Ultimate is good to start with. I know a lot of people in the fandom made a big deal about, like, the visuals of it, but I think that, like, a newcomer or somebody new to the series isn't gonna, like, have the context to care about that sort of thing. Like, I think Colors Ultimate is different and not usually better, but, like, it's fine. Colors Ultimate would also be good. Again, you could probably... It's a couple years old now, so you could probably get it for really, really cheap. And the big benefit there is... If you're the kind of gamer who likes your platforming games to be a little bit more exploration-based, and you like, finding stuff over, pure adrenaline action junkie type scenarios, then that may be more your speed than Generations was. I remember when Generations came out, and I remember this because I was just so on the complete opposite side of it. But there were a lot of people who were kind of upset that Generations didn't have a more colors-like level design. That Generations, went back to sort of the Unleashed approach of the boost formula, as opposed to Colors being a lot more platformy and a lot more, exploration-focused. And now, of course, all people, when they talk about Colors, they complain because it's too platformy. At least I assume they do. I've kind of been out of the fandom for a long time now. Me with Adventure DX. Different as Sonic fans speak for bad. No, I mean, I'm not, there's arguments to be made, and taste in art is of course, subjective. The amount of vitriol that I saw directed toward Colors Ultimate was... I mean, honestly, what I should have known back then was that I needed to get off Twitter. Because that's where a lot of it was coming from. I do not miss Twitter. I was just talking about
getting off Twitter is just universally good advice for anything.
Oh, hello.
Hi there.
I told... Can you guys hear him?
You are hearing the sound of my voice. Am I audible? Chat, can you hear me?
We will see. While I am stuck forever in the spike room.
Sorry, I was here. I joined in a minute ago, but I wasn't sure if you saw that I was here or not.
No, see, a long time ago, I turned off Discord notifications, and I have never bothered to figure out how to turn them back on. So until people start talking, I ain't gonna have any idea.
Okay. Also, hi chat. I'm guessing they can hear me. Hi Slato. Hi Poe. Hi Hooligan. Hi Joe. Is that a ghost? Yes, I am the ghost of Kaylin's past.
No, this is my beloved Discord moderator, Darkwing Spartan.
Hang on. That's me. I just said hi in the chat, so now you see what my face looks like.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm a high-ranking moderator for Josh's Discord group, which you can join now by going to patreon.com/Patreon/GeekCritique, is it?
Yeah, it's patreon.com/GeekCritique. Thank you for the plug. So, one thing that I love is whenever I mention the Discord on Blue Sky, you always remind me that I need to actually tell people how to get into it. Because... or rather the Discord, because I usually just forget to do that.
Yes, this is Sonic Origins, for the person asking.
Yeah. The mods I have installed, the main one is Sonic Origins Ultrafix, which just makes thousands of little tiny tweaks to it to bring it more in line with the Genesis originals. Actually, I think that's the main one I have on entirely. I have, let's see. Ooh, if you look in the corner there, I'm not covering that up. No, I'm not. I have the Genesis button mod. So... my on-screen buttons are for the Sega Genesis controller.
Nice.
But Ultrafix is excellent. They just came out with a big update for it. That said, in line with what we were saying earlier about Colors Ultimate, Vanilla Origins is it's in a fine spot. It was it was rougher at launch, admittedly. But I think they polished it up pretty nice. And again, if you're not intimately, and I mean intimately, familiar with these games, it's not gonna be that obvious to you. It's not like it's not gonna bug you. Playing so much Star Fox 2026 over the past couple of weeks, like that keeps coming to mind. Like I notice little differences, but if I hadn't played Star Fox 64 as much as I have, like I definitely wouldn't.
I imagine it's also one of those things where flipping back and forth between the different versions like causes some of the muscle memory to get mixed up anyway. So,
I mean, maybe a little bit, but like it really is pretty dang close.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing that you can't pretty easily, well, at least I can't pretty easily adjust to. I think there's always been this thing with Sonic fandom, and especially classic Sonic fandom, where like fidelity with exactly how it worked on 16-bit hardware is sometimes prioritized almost to the exclusion of everything else, and I never really I never really felt that strongly about it. But like I grew up playing Sonic games on a fan game developer platform called Click and Play, where every time you jumped against, like, you would jump and Sonic would uncurl and stick to the ground every single time. So I have maybe I might just have really low standards, honestly. And yeah, this is mirror mode.
Oh, that didn't even dawn on me until just now.
Yeah, I wanted to attempt to mess with my own muscle memory a little bit more, and it's working. I mean, I've like, I'm not really able to just fall into like a typical rhythm with it.
What's one thing I always like about re-releases of and old collections of games like this, just giving you a different way to play the same thing.
Re-releases or Twilight Princess on Wii.
Or Twilight Princess on Wii.
For those who don't know, the Wii version of Twilight Princess mirrored the entire game. So that Link would be right-handed, since most people are right-handed. Which was kind of weird, but it came out like the same day as the GameCube version, of course, so at least it made them a little bit more different.
I appreciate having like different versions of games that have weird little quirks like that, because it means you... I don't know, maybe it's me, but I always like comparing different weird versions of things with each other.
Yeah. Oh, I believe I got a super chat earlier. Sorry, Darkwing had just joined, so I didn't get to take a look at it. Pasta Fee, thank you so much. They say, Sonic 35th Anniversary Marathon. That's what they called me back in high school. Were you in high school like 2.5 weeks ago? Because referring to the Sonic 35th Anniversary at any time before then would have been a little weird. But yeah, thank you for the super chat. Keep getting questions as... This is very nostalgic now, because for many years, every single time I did anything, I would get lots of questions about when the Metroid Dread video was going to come out. And now I'm getting lots of questions about when the Metroid Prime 4 video is going to come out. And understandably so, I made a big deal last year about streaming my playthrough of it and working on it. And I did indeed. Like, I have just this enormous script setting on my computer. It's just like it kind of got away from me, and I started being like, am I sure that this is the direction that I want to take things? But sooner or later, yes, I will, of course, be making a Metroid Prime 4 video.
Still waiting on the Metroid Prime pinball video.
That too, yeah. Oh man, come on. Nah. Green already locked. I was like, I need 2 more rings to get the special stage, but that's fine. I think you're ready.
I am also waiting on the Sonic Unleashed video, Salato. You can be both. All in due time. All in due time.
The Unleashed video is fun. The concept of the Unleashed video is funny, because I feel like if I had made it in 2015, let's say, it would have made people mad. And if I make it now, it'll make people mad, but for the opposite reason. But you can't really say much of anything about Sonic without making somebody mad, I guess.
Wise man once said, "It's Sonic. Every opinion is an unpopular opinion."
Yep.
Josh does a live stream. The fandom should have been Metroid.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. That said, I have beaten Metroid Prime 4 3 times now, so...
Yeah, that should give you an indication, chat.
It's funny, like, with every Metroid Prime game that I played, like, way back when I made that, like, the original series about it, my immediate inclination after I beat it was that I wanted to play it again in hard mode. And so this time I actually just did that. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I recently went through all the Metroid Prime games on hard mode, and Prime 2 on hard mode is a nightmare. I find it to me, like, worse.
It's been so long for me that I should probably just play Metroid Prime 2 on normal mode again before I do hard mode. Like, I have never gone back, except for Metroid Prime 1. When the remastered version came out, I went back and played it again.
Honestly, I think that... Maybe I'm wrong. I could see you actually enjoying just doing Prime 2 hard mode without any muscle memory. Like, that seems like the sort of, like, hard that I know you enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, like... It's nice because it's been long enough now that, like, I remember the game in, like, very, very broad strokes, but it would essentially be pretty dang new to me.
Yeah. That's how it was for me recently.
Oh, the Insta-Shield's gonna demolish this guy. Never stood a chance. Who's still my favorite Prime game, says Arios. I need to play it again. To give you some indication, my favorite Prime game is either 4 or 2, but I gotta play 2 again to make that decision. 2 is my favorite Prime number.
True.
Here's a Sonic opinion you may not have heard. Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric has the best looking rings of the series, and Sonic Adventure has the worst. I have never once thought about what Sonic games have the best or worst looking rings. So that is new. That is something I haven't heard before. One of my hot takes has always been that Labyrinth Zone is good, actually. I enjoy this level quite a lot.
It's not horrible.
I enjoy it a lot more than Marble Zone, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh. I think I've messed up the big shortcut, but that's fine. If you come down here and you raise that platform, and then you, like, are able to climb back to the top with it, then, like, a little raft appears that lets you skip, like, almost the entire level from here.
Somebody says, my hot take is Sonic Superstars is awesome. I will not disagree.
I mean, you are talking to Superstar's biggest defender, so I absolutely can't disagree with that one.
That was Kay saying that in the chat.
Of course it was! Okay, well, you are also Superstar's biggest defender, then.
Also, hi, Kay.
Hi, Kay. Yeah, me and her have made it our lives mission to be as annoying as possible about Classic Sonic. Oh no, I might drown.
Oh no.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
This is fine, says the dog on fire.
Now, people always talk about how, like, terrifying the drowning music is, and I get it, but, like, it's just been such a normal part of my life for such a long time. And saying, yeah, that's whatever.
Yeah.
Stuff like being exposed to that might be why, like, if anything, I typically have, like, negative amounts of anxiety. Like, I typically feel like, if anything, I should be a little bit more anxious and worried about shit than I am.
Yeah.
My hot take is that I don't hate the Deadly Six. Yeah, that's pretty unusual. Carlos says, I like Superstars a lot, not fond of its final bosses, though. Okay, I love, and I mean, you can see me playing it for the first time on stream to prove this. I love the main campaign final boss. I love how challenging it is. I love how, like, intense, like, having to lose over and over again is. Like, my feeling is that I like when a game, not through the entire thing, but at the end, it should put up everything it has to prevent you from beating it. I like that sort of thing. The Fang final boss in Trip Story is, I've only played that like a couple of times, but it is similar. It's just like the amount of effort that you have to go to even get to it in the first place. I didn't feel like it was as hard. It's funny because it was actually much more challenging because it had more like one-hit KO attacks. But I think I just played the game so much at that point that like it wasn't going to be that tough for me. And then the Black Dragon, the true final boss, absolutely sucks ass. It's one of the worst final bosses in the entire series.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't have to be. It's not like in terms of its design it's that bad. It's just way too much of it is like so RNG based. So I've only beaten that one, I think, 3 times. One on each platform that I got Sonic Superstars for. So Xbox, Switch, and PC, of course. Still need to get it on the PlayStation. While I still can, while they're still making physical discs. My other hot take is that Infinite fulfills his purpose in Sonic Forces better than Mephiles did in 06. I like Infinite a lot better than Mephiles, yeah. I will agree with that. I think life itself is hard enough, so no thanks. Totally fair, totally legit.
It all depends on what you want out of video games, I suppose.
For sure. Fletcher says, Sonic Superstars is a game I would have replayed more if the Switch version didn't have such bad loading times between acts. Maybe I should have bought it on PS5 so the loading would be better. It loads, if you're interested in able to get a Switch 2, it definitely loads faster and, like, runs better in general there. But, yeah, it runs very well on Switch, all things considered, but they did have to make a lot of compromises to get it there. Also, I like how I can just look at chat while Sonic falls forever during this.
How could you do that to him?
One thing that always gets me a little bit about Sonic 1, that I think, like, you kind of have to excuse a lot of things, being that it was, you know, literally the first one. But it's kind of weird that, unusually for almost any other Sonic game, it has 3 acts per zone, and they're all pretty lengthy, and they all, except for Scrap Brain, use the same, like, graphical assets and general design and music. Even, like, Labyrinth Zone is one of my favorite songs in this game, but even still, like, by the time I get to Act 3, it's kind of wearing on me a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's especially true with Marble Zone. Like, Marble Zone, I don't think it would bug me as much if it didn't have 3 acts and if the loop, because the Marble Zone song itself is really great. Like, I enjoy it a lot, but the loop is like 22 seconds long or something. So, that Marble Zone Act 3 title card comes up, and I'm just like, okay, here we go again.
Yeah, I don't think it's a stretch to say Sonic 1 is probably the most repetitive of the classics.
But we're almost through this.
Is this Hydero City? No, but it could be Hydrocity.
It's actually pronounced Hydrocity Zone. And if I didn't have a shield, oh, there we go. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna die on purpose here because I want to try to actually use the insta shield to beat him. I guess I can just lose rings, and that'll be faster than waiting to drown. So I think this will be one dead hedgehog, but this one doesn't count because I'm doing it on purpose. I said it would be faster. I don't think it's going to be. Not much.
It's half a dead hedgehog.
You can't say it's only a half. Do I not get any rings if I do this? Okay, we might actually have a dead hedgehog here in a second, son.
I think you get a shield and that's it.
Oh. Well, I can't get the shield because then I can't use the instant shield. Oh, yep, you're right. Alright. Oh shit, the water's coming. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know if I can do this. At least not first try. Thought I'd hit him there. Okay, that's one real dead hedgehog. And yeah, that's so wild, you can't go back. You can't go back and get any rings. I never die there, so I didn't know that.
It's funny, I'm watching this with a little bit of stream delay, so I hear your voice before seeing what happens in the game.
Yep.
My first time trying to get through this area was a nightmare.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, when I was a kid, I always played Sonic 1 with debug mode on, because Sonic 1 was the only one of the classics where when you enable debug mode, if you get hit with 0 rings, you don't die. And I think Sonic 1 was also just, to me anyway, it was a lot harder in general than like Sonic 2 and 3 were.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I always appreciated having that buffer. This game was also the reason I learned the difference between left and right. Speaking of which. Because the level select code is up, down, left, right, hold A, press start on the title screen, so I had to learn it. And for a long time as a kid, whenever I needed to know the difference, I would picture the Sega Genesis D-pad. Oh, that's not good. Okay, now I'm just trying to survive, honestly. It would be really funny if I got a game over here, if I just can't do this. This is the part where I rage quit on my first playthrough, says somebody.
Yeah, I remember my first time playing this, I was being stubborn and trying to beat the whole game without save states, and this one section took me forever to get consistent at.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to take the shield. I want to get out of Labyrinth Zone now. Okay, well that was a good start.
Yes, this is mirror mode, chat.
That's probably not helping.
Probably not.
Yeah, I never got to the point, like, you can... If you hit him, I think 7 or 8 times, then, like, he will start exploding. It affects nothing, but you can still do it. But I never got to the point that I could do that consistently. Neon Icy says, does Origins give you the insta-shield in P11 Sonic 1? Not normally. Normally, you can enter the level select code, and there are options to, like, enable Sonic 3-style shields. But I don't think there's a normal way to activate the peel out. That's mods. But Origins basically has the... they're all very much based on the mobile version, so whatever you can do in those, generally you can do in Origins.
Oh yeah, I definitely think this is worse than the shafted chemical plant.
Really? That's... like, not to me, but that's because the Shaft and Chemical Plant was, like, the first wall I ever hit in any video game. Well, technically, I guess the boss of Emerald Hill Zone was the first one. That's the first thing I ever remember getting a game over on.
I think the chemical plant thing comes sooner in that game, so a lot more people got there, but the tunnel here is a lot longer.
Yeah, for sure. And it's so devastating because there's so many places in there where if you get hit, like, you're gonna fall into the water and lose so much progress.
Yeah.
And now you're fighting, like, the drowning panic. Still, I would much rather do that than play these special stages. What do you? So I'm curious, as somebody who's played this a lot less than me. Do you like these special stages or not mind them as much? Like, I feel like I'm a bit unusual in how much derision I feel for these things.
They're okay. I don't hate them, but I would definitely not say I love them.
Right.
Like, they're definitely not my favorites.
I'm sure this effect was very impressive in 1991.
Probably. I appreciate that they're not just, like, pure trial and error like the half-pipe is.
That's true. I can see that. Like, I have a really skewed perspective on the half-pipe, no pun intended, because that was my first special stage, so, like, that, like a lot of things to do with Sonic 2 and 3, I can basically do it all with my eyes closed.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like when I play them, I have this, like, sixth sense of, like, okay, well, the rings are about to be over here. And I can just sort of I couldn't, like, write it down and tell you where they're going to be. I just get a feeling about it, and I'm always right.
Yeah, I remember my first time playing through all these games a few years ago. I remember my first time playing through Sonic 2, I remember thinking, oh god, the half-pipe is so much worse, because, like, I didn't know what to do. Mm-hmm. But now that I sort of know what to do, it's the other way around.
Yeah, it's also not as bad in Origins or the mobile version, just because, like, the rotation and the scaling is so much smoother.
Yeah.
Feel like people would struggle more with the Genesis version.
Oh, yeah.
But as far as the half-pipes go, I like the one in... Of course, 3D Blast on the Saturns is phenomenal, and we'll get to that later. But Sonic 4 Episode 2's is also pretty great.
Is Rush the one with the half-pipe that you control with the DS stylus?
Yeah, Rush and Colors DS both have that. And yeah, those are really great too. Like, it's down... I would have trouble deciding if Rush or 3D Blast Saturn has my favorite of the half-pipe style special stages, but it's one of them. The problem with a lot of Sonic special stages, and it's one that this one, like, these actually don't really have, is that with so many of them, your skill doesn't really matter that much in how long they're going to take. Like, the half-pipe is always going to take the same amount of time, no matter how good you get at it. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it is basically an auto-scroller.
Yeah. That's one thing I really like about Sonic CD special stages. CDs are way up there for me, too, because, like, you can knock them all out in, like, under 25 seconds if you're good enough at them.
Yeah. That's always nice.
Colors DS, Young Average Joe says, Colors DS's half-pipe is probably my favorite just for its music alone. That is one of the best and most underrated songs in the whole series, for sure. Colors DS's special stages do this thing where, like, you go through the same course 3 times, but each time, like, the music remixes itself and gets a little faster and more intense, and it feels really, really great. Somebody says, do you think Mania should have had the Super Emeralds? My conspiracy theory is that it was going to. Like, I think I think there are many indications within it that the team planned at some point to have the Super Emeralds in there. Most notably, of course, the fact that, like, these giant rocks show up where the Super Emeralds are supposed to be anyway. But also just, the game is way too long to only have 7 emeralds in it, you know? Like, I always finished collecting them by, like, Studiopolis at the very latest, and, you know, that's the 3rd zone. So, yeah, I think it definitely should have had the Super Emeralds. I think they definitely wanted to put Hypersonic in it, and were just told, like, yeah, no, that's, for whatever reason, Sega just doesn't seem to want to acknowledge that stuff.
It was a drop dash in one of the Sonic prototypes?
Oh yeah, the Sonic 3 prototype. It wasn't called the drop dash and it didn't work exactly the same way, but Sonic had, like, unlockable... were they unlockable? I can't remember, it's been a while since I played it. But he had something that basically let him do a one-charge spin dash, and, like, activate it in midair. I think you, like, had to jump and hold down as you landed. So it was kind of clunky, but yeah. The Mania team did not know about that. That when Mania came out, that prototype hadn't like leaked yet. So it was just a coinky dink. Hey Josh, good morning. Just woke up here and want to give you a friendly reminder that your friend met the love of his life and you got Sonic Heroes. Yep. And now the baby that I believe I mentioned in that episode that they had just had, is 8 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was talking about him the other day. He's, his 8-year-old son plays, like, more retro games than I do. I posted about it on Blue Sky a couple days ago if you want to go look, but he has just absolutely ridiculous hours in all of the NSO apps.
That is adorable to me.
That kid loves the Super Nintendo. And, like, I'll see him, because he plays it on his dad's account, so, like, I'll see just in the middle of the night, like, I'll be up working, I'm working late because I'm a YouTuber, and, like, at 4:30 a.m., like, he starts playing, like, the NSO N64 app, and I'm like, hell yeah. That's a childhood well spent right there.
Yeah. I'm always glad to hear, like, stories of, like, young people getting into, like, old movies or old video games or whatever like that.
Yeah. I actually got him Sonic Origins for Switch a while back, and he said that, like, he's way too Nintendo-brained, unfortunately. It was way too hard for him. And he asked his dad, like, can you... Like, sometimes when a game's too hard for him, he asks his dad to play it for him, but the problem there is his dad is also crap at Sonic, because his dad was also a Nintendo kid. So, I need to go over there and show him how it's done.
I think Sega simply doesn't want to make Super Sonic feel less special by adding things like Super Sonic 5 or however many versions you get.
Yeah, I think so too.
You don't like, oh, what's the thing in Dragon Ball? You don't want, like, Ultra Instinct Sonic? I think that'd be cool.
I mean, there are a lot of people who would really, really like that. But...
Okay, now, Super Sonic Blue.
I mean, Origins did that weird thing with, like, the cyberspace energy, but they made a point of never naming it, and they really, really presented it like, this is something that can only happen once. Like, these are extremely special circumstances. Yeah, I think they just don't want the series to get too bogged down in, like, power scaling and stuff like that. Which makes sense. That would be that would be a weird fit for Sonic. This is not that kind of story. Like, I really don't think we ever would have gotten the Super Emeralds in the first place if Sonic 3 hadn't been split into 2 games.
Yeah. remember I got to this stage the first time, and I had not figured out how spinning worked. Like, just holding down to spin.
Right.
And trying to get underneath those lightning hazards was a pain because I didn't know how to duck.
Yeah, I've been playing Sonic games for like I was 6 years old, so I have like my scale of time is all whacked out. But I've been playing Sonic games for at least a couple of months before I figured out how spinning worked. Because I know I've told this story before, but I remember specifically where I did it. It was on those extremely steep cliffs at the start of Marble Garden Zone in Sonic 3. And I didn't get Sonic 3 until I'd had a Genesis for a little while, so yeah, bare minimum, it had to be a couple of months. Like, until that point, I was just like, Sonic just decides to curl into a ball on his own sometimes. I don't know why.
Yeah, that was my exact experience. I just thought, oh, sometimes he gets so fast that he just does it on his own.
Well, I think, like, the S-tubes in Green Hill Zone, where they do force you into the ball, might be part of that. Like, it kind of teaches you... it kind of teaches you something that is not true.
Maybe.
Also, I didn't mean to fall down here, but I guess we're going the long way around. One thing that's extremely dickish about Scrap Brain Zone 3 is that these bubbles, in this act alone, like the big bubbles you can inhale, take twice as long to show up. Like, it's actually very possible. In any other zone, like if you're hearing the drowning music and you reach one of these guys, you're gonna be fine. In this one, that's not necessarily true. Because, like, look at how, like, it's gonna come, but look at how long that took. But it's the last real zone. It can be a little dickish. Huh.
Better like an end-game difficulty spike than a mid-game difficulty spike.
Huh. That's weird. This is not mirrored. This is just regular Final Zone.
Huh.
Wonder why. Also, I really hate this final boss. It's sort of the same deal as we were talking about the special stage earlier. There is just no way to do it. It's not hard, but it will get you occasionally, and there's no way to get it done any faster.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of boring. In the original game, if you're playing with like a mod that lets you spin dash, oh man, see, it'll get you sometimes. Or if you're just really fast and can roll into him, you can get 2 hits in on him, like per cycle, if you're like just in the right position. The problem there though is if you do that on the last hit, then he doesn't die and the boss just goes on forever. So
I know I don't know if this works in Origins, but I know that on the Genesis version, at least, the speedrunners actually have a way to manipulate where he spawns in.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's something where I think if you hit him, if you bounce into him without touching the D-pad, then he keeps coming back in the same spots.
Yeah, well, I can't not touch the D-pad because I've got to dodge these things.
Right. Well, I mean, like, as you bounce into him, if you let go of the D-pad when that happens.
Right, yeah, no, I tried to do that there, but I was like, well, I'm gonna die if I stay still.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, again. Gotta move. But yeah, I guess you'd have to manipulate, like, where the electricity balls are gonna show up to, which I'm sure can be done.
Yeah.
Alright, that is Sonic 1 complete. Somebody says they did the thing where you hit the boss twice and it goes on forever. I did that on accident one time and didn't realize what the fuck I did. I fought him until the clock killed me. That's hilarious. Good old variable overflow, yep. The good ending. Get your official Geek Critique Collector's Cup. You can't. You can't. I don't sell these. My mom got me this for Valentine's Day a few years ago. JP Brooks says, I beat this for the first time at my cousin's house when I was about 6. That is hardcore. If you were able to beat this when you were 6, like without cheats, without Game Genie, that is some hardcore stuff. I could not do that when I was 6. Not this one anyway. I beat Sonic 2 when I was 6. I don't think I beat Sonic 3. So for quite a long time, Sonic 2 was the only Sonic game that I'd finished without Game Genie, without cheats. So... But I don't think I beat Sonic 1 until I was quite a bit older. Character design, Big Island. I found out recently, because I've been learning Japanese, Big Island was Noto Oshima's nickname. But character design, Big Island. And that's because that's literally what Oshima means. That is Big Island.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Oshima. Somebody says, hey Josh, did you ever play Jazz Jackrabbit? I played that way before Sonic. I don't think I've ever played a Jazz Jackrabbit game. I'm familiar with what it is. I know that was like mid to late 90s PC Sonic-like game.
I know Kobar loves it.
Oh, it's basically Sonic on MS-DOS, but you have a gun.
It's Commander Keen, but Sonic.
I mean, that does sound like my bullshit, admittedly. Somebody talks about my cousin who had never played a Sonic game technically beat this for the first time when he was visiting a few years ago. That reminds me, I knew I was getting really good. I knew I was getting really serious about this stuff when my cousin had Sonic 3 and I didn't yet, and he couldn't beat Launch Base Zone. And he showed me, because like you got that boss gauntlet at the end of Act 2, and he got stuck on the final boss. And he showed this to me, and I took the controller and I beat his copy of it. And that's when and he was like he's like 2 or 3 years older than me. So that's when I knew I was getting pretty serious about this stuff.
It's always a nice feeling showing up a person who claims to be better.
Yeah. But also being older, he had, and having been a gamer for longer than me, he had a lot more to play than just Sonic. At that point, Sonic 2 was like my only video game. Well, that and Aladdin, because I got them at the same time. Played Sonic a lot more, though. But alright, we should go to game number 2.
Imagine playing video games that aren't Sonic, am I right?
Why? Why bother?
As Reggie Fils-Aimé once said, if it's not Sonic, why bother?
And that's why Nintendo bought Sonic, famously.
True.
Nintendo now owns Sonic. Let's see, I'll get the game running and then get this set up, right?
This is a video game.
Whenever I need to pretend to be 2014, Josh, that's what I'll do. Game
It's a good line. It's a good opener.
Let's see, is it going? Yeah, okay. Alright, so that was the first anniversary Sonic. That doesn't count. That's not how that works. That's not how time works. Sonic 1 was the first Sonic game. Citation needed. But now what we're doing, we're going to the 5th anniversary Sonic game. Not that Sega made a big deal out of at the time. Actually, that's sort of not true. Sega of America tried to push this like it was Sonic's grand return, because they so badly and so desperately needed like this to be the biggest deal possible. And it just wasn't. It just couldn't be. But I remember like the marketing for 3D Blast, like the tagline was "Blue is back." And they needed to do everything they could to make this as big a deal as they could, and it was just completely overshadowed by Mario 64 and Crash Bandicoot. It was never going to work.
Was the Genesis version of this out by then?
I think the Genesis version came out a little bit ahead of it, but not much. They were very close together.
Okay.
Somebody says the music is loud. I can turn that down. At least I think I did. Is it still loud for you guys? Well, no, wait, that's going to turn Darkwing down too if I do it like that. We'll do it like this.
No, don't do it. Don't take me away.
Set it to about 50. That ought to be okay. Yeah, I'm sure that's better. Let's see. We're doing 1 3D Blast SA2 06 Generations Mania. I think I'd just rather play Forces for the 25th. Just because I played Mania so much before on stream, and I don't know, Forces 1 won't take as long. 2, it'll give me more interesting things to talk about, I think. Somebody says we're not doing the Yeah, years ago, the original programmer John Burton went back and made an officially unofficial improvement mod for 3D Blast. But that was only for the Genesis version, and I want to play the Saturn version. And also, I get the intent with a lot of the changes that he made, but I kinda just still like the original better nonetheless. He sort of gives it a Sonic CD-like camera where the camera moves in the direction that you're moving. And I get it, it makes sense, but it always feels very strange to me.
I feel like that works better in a strict, side-scrolling 2D thing rather than something like this.
Yeah, it leads to the camera feeling like it's just kind of moving around a lot.
Yeah.
You'd rather play Forces than Mania, let that sink in. Yeah, fuck Mania, that stupid fan game.
Everyone knows 3D games are better than 2D games.
Case in point, look at this. Actually, Mania Special Stages look a whole lot like this. No, this Special Stage, I remember... Actually, I just talked about him in the Star Fox video, so you guys will have context for this. Stanley came over. He was the teenager. He was the increasingly cynical teenager in the neighborhood. When I first got the Saturn, he was like, "You're so fucking stupid." He didn't say fuck. He knew better than to cuss in front of me. He said, "You're so stupid for getting a Saturn. Sega sucks ass now. Why are you doing that?" And I mean, admittedly, there was an argument to be made there. But I remember I was showing them this. I was showing them 3D Blast. And he correctly he had his arms crossed. He was being such a little shit about it. He's like, "That's just a Genesis game. It barely even looks better. It plays the same thing. Is this the best Sega can do?" And then this special stage loaded, and for just a second, he couldn't keep up the facade. He couldn't keep up the veil. And I remember, it loads in, and it shows the camera zooming around Sonic and Knuckles, and he goes, "Whoa." And I was like, "Yeah, fuck you, Stanley." He commented on the Star Fox video too. He said it was very nice to revisit old times. The music is so good. Kay says, "I mean, the PlayStation didn't have bug. The winner's obvious." Also, what we're seeing right now, Sonic 3D Blast for the Saturn was the original Sonic 06. It's like Sonic 96 in terms of loading times. Because I'm not going to fast forward through this one, just so we can experience how much downtime there is between leaving the special stage and getting back into the game. And that's because these special stages were made by a slice of Sonic Team and run in a completely different engine. And so, every time you go to a special stage, the game basically has to completely unload itself and then, come back in. And it felt agonizing as a kid. But I thought this would be fun because, as far as I can remember, I don't think I've ever played 3D Blast on stream. And also just the Saturn version, especially of 3D Blast in particular, is kind of an enigma, kind of relatively unknown now. I don't love 3D Blast, but I like it a lot more than I did when I was a kid. I have a lot more patience for it, and also spatial awareness.
You know, I don't think I've ever played any version of this, now that I think about it.
I mean, it's not much of a beautiful effect here, by the way. That transparent waterfall always really impressed me, especially on a CRT.
Like that. Yeah, the shadow dithering looks a little rough, but the rest of the game looks nice. At least on a big LCD monitor. I'm sure it's fine on a CRT.
In the Genesis version, anyway, I can't remember if this one does it, but every time, like, when you beat a level, it gives you, like, on the results screen, it tells you, like, how long you took. But if you took more than 10 minutes, then it says too long. And I was so bad at, like, spatial awareness and navigation that literally every single time that I got to the results screen, it said too long. Like, I don't think as a kid I ever made it past Spring Stadium Zone. Arlo says it could use a flicky radar, kind of like the hunting stages in the Sonic Adventure games. Yeah, that would probably help. I don't know. As you play it, you kind of get a feel for where everything is. The real problem comes like later on when different flicky types start showing up, where if you lose them, they like bounce around randomly and can be really, really hard to get back. Also, my enjoyment of this game, it's such a simple thing and it shouldn't matter very much, but my enjoyment of this game improved exponentially when I realized if you tap the jump button while you're spin dashing, you can actually charge it. Like, it's not even particularly useful to do, but you can do it. This is also one of those Sonic games where there is some degree of debate over whether it should or should not be considered mainline. Which is so funny, like, I still get comments to this day talking about mainline as if canonicity has anything to do with it, and I don't understand that.
It's only canon if it's if there's a spot in the game where Sonic gets shot out of a cannon. That's when it counts.
Well, then, I guess, going by that, this is mainline. Also, I always lose the last flicky in this area. I don't think it's up here. No, that's the starting area. Ooh, also, the Saturn version adds something marvelous. A map on the pause screen. A map that looks like it was made in MS Paint, but a map nonetheless.
Truly, the power of the Saturn is unmatched.
I'm not sure how useful it actually is, but it is there.
It exists. You can't take that away from it.
As if mainline Sonic is an elite club of high-quality games. I know, right? It doesn't... It really doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this font. Yeah, right? Ooh, also, every zone has its own pause screen, so that's something. Whoa!
Scott the Woz reviewed it after Sonic 3 and Knuckles, so obviously it is.
Did he? I don't remember that. I don't remember what he said about it. Yeah, it is so obvious. Like, this is one of those things where it's like, look at how good this is, and it makes me very sad that Sonic Team just didn't make a real Sonic game for the Saturn. I was like, they did this! Sonic Team was brought in to do the special stages for the Saturn version of 3D Blast. Like, even this early in the Saturn's life, this is the kind of performance that they could get out of it.
I wonder if that's the same, like, physical character model that they used in Sonic Jam for the world map bit.
It's similar, but it's not exactly the same, no.
Okay. This Shadow the Hedgehog a mainline Sonic game? No, it's actually a Yoshi game.
There you go. I mean, if you have the Billy Hatcher gun, it kind of is.
This is how Don Yoshi wants it done.
That was great. I really appreciate it. Definitive Dubs doing that for me. But, like, this even has roll physics, okay? Like, you can curl into a ball and roll faster down hills. They even got that part. If anyone's interested in trying these, there is a mod out there for 3D Blast Saturn that makes it so the game is just these. You just play all of the special stages in sequence. Yeah, look at that! That's so much fun. It's all Naka's fault. Bro, I'm understanding why these special stages are considered the best now, right?
This is cool.
Mm-hmm. Frederick says, I'm honestly surprised they weren't forced to make a Sonic game. Yeah, look, I know I love Nights into Dreams. I do. I'll always love Nights into Dreams, and I'm glad it happened. I just think that it's so weird, and it speaks so much to, like, what a strange, chaotic place Sega was at the time, that Sonic Team was even allowed to do that first. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the Saturn would have had so much better of a chance if oh man, Dead Hedgehog. I love you get the red screen fade out on that one. But if it had launched with, maybe not launched in Japan necessarily, but like by the end of 1995, it really needed to have a Sonic game on it. And it's so weird that it didn't.
Yeah, I'd imagine that's one of those breakdown between Sega Japan, Sega US.
Yeah, for sure.
Didn't it come out a few years ago that, like, despite the Genesis having, like, such a big market share in the US back in the day, they weren't actually all that profitable because they had to cut so many corners with retailers or something?
There was something, like, a bunch of Sega financial reports leaked, and there was something about, like, unsold, like basically stock rooms where retailers were buying stock and then not selling it, and then Sega was having to buy it back or something, but I'm not sure. Like, I think some people, like, looked at that and made inferences about it, but I've also heard conflicting things that, like, that's not actually how that worked at all.
Okay. Yeah, I know gamers tend to be really bad at interpreting financial documents.
Well,
especially incomplete ones.
It is not our field of study.
It is not.
See, I think the only thing back here is Tails. You can only get one emerald per act. If, like, I could find Tails and have him take me to the special stage, but it would just be the same special stage again, and then I would just get, like, I think an extra life if I completed it again. That's one of the things that I didn't like about John Burton's, like, director's cut version of Sonic 3D Blast, though. They made it so you can only get one emerald per zone. So you had to like stick with it the entire game.
In terms of Sega's IP, I think each console got better. That's why I slightly prefer the Saturn over the Genesis. I can see that.
Darkwing, if you can turn your volume up just a little bit. Like, I don't have trouble hearing you, but I think it would be like you could just be a little bit louder.
Hang on, let me investigate that real quick.
Sure.
I think I'm currently maxed out on Discord. I don't know if I can do much. I'll just try to speak up more.
Oh, that's fine. I can do it on my end, too. If it's a problem. I don't think it is. Nobody in chat said anything.
Chat, can you hear me? Am I still audible?
Our field of study is which button is the X button again, right? I mean, I'm sure they were having a lot of trouble selling, like, the Sega CD. Because I think that thing launched for $299.99, and even by the time that, like, I got into video games, like, in 94. In, like, 94 and 95, the Sega CD, I guess because it was so expensive to produce in the first place, was still selling for like, $300. And I remember that seeming just, like, an absolutely insane amount of money, even with how little context I had for, like, how much money was at the time.
Yeah, $300 in, like, what, 95 money is insane.
Yeah. Especially because, like, the Genesis and the Super Nintendo were down to, like, $99.99, like, with pack-ins, like, with games with them by that point. But yeah, I knew there was absolutely no way I was ever going to get a Sega CD because it's just too dang expensive. I think in 96, once it went out of production, though, they did start actually discounting it. Oh, for the days when video game hardware would decrease in price over time.
The olden days of like 5 years ago.
What appropriate music for the wistfulness. This is considered by far one of the best tracks in this version of 3D Blast and in the series in general. Like, I really liked 3D Blast for the Saturn, as it is, but it would be worth it just for this.
All these basics looking loading results screen. I don't know if Josh gets that reference, but I do. And I appreciate it.
I think I've played Baldi's Basics before. I recognize the name.
Okay.
Was that some, like, creepypasta kind of thing?
Yeah, it came out a few years ago, and it was like a parody of, like, 90s edutainment PC games, but, like, it was supposed to be intentionally creepy.
One thing I will never play on stream is Sonic Dream Team. Wait, no, that's not it. What was it? What was that 2015 bizarre PC fan project called? Sonic Dreams Collection, maybe?
I was gonna say Dreams Collection, yeah.
Yeah.
I could also be wrong.
Dreams Collection sounds right. No, Dream Team is the, unfortunately, Apple Arcade exclusive thing. Which is very unfortunate because it's quite excellent. It's like it's really good. I would very much like to have it on anything that's not Apple Arcade. I think we're just gonna leave Tails there. I don't think I can get 50 rings in this area anymore. Dreams Collection, yeah, that was it. Oh, and then the fog effect here. One thing I really wish, like looking back on the 5th generation, is I wish we'd gotten more 2D games in general, but especially 2D games that look like this. Because I understand at the time, like, 3D was the hot new thing. Like, any game like this would get derided for being way too last gen and outdated. Like, retro was retro was in no way cool in 1996. But, like, playing this and playing Earthworm Jim 2, which got a Sega CD version, and just Mega Man X4 and 5. Like, I think those consoles were just so dang good at doing 2D, like, and, like, representing, like, high-resolution, pre-rendered graphics like this, even. But, yeah, anything like that was considered just imminently old news.
I think it's saying something that, like, there's a healthy number of, like, 2D retro throwback games coming out today that are specifically trying to look like, Saturn or PS1 games.
Yeah. I just think it was such a weird specific time where, like, pre-rendered visuals were going to look like this in 1996, in, like, the mid-90s, and then they were never going to look like this again.
Yeah.
Like, even the... like, Donkey Kong Country 2 for the Game Boy Advance adds a new boss called Kerosene, and it looks absolutely nothing like anything else in the game, and it looks pretty dang bad, really. But it just does, like, rendering methods and like how 3D models were constructed and whatnot, like even by that point had changed so much.
Yeah, like even if like the technique of like taking a 3D model and squishing it into pixels, that's the same, but like the way those 3D models are actually made is completely different now.
Exactly. Like they got, like I've looked at reviews of games like this, and they got such terrible scores back then, and like they were like a kind of a point of mockery. Like I was saying with Stanley, like I was a kid, and even I knew like the fact that you're porting a Genesis game to the Saturn is such a bad look. But in retrospect, especially, like I wish it had been more accepted, and I wish we'd gotten more of it.
It's kind of the opposite problem of what we have today, now that I think about it. Because, like, nowadays, like, if you get, like, this big PlayStation 5 exclusive, and it looks like a game that was made 10 years ago.
That's true, yeah. But, I mean, games that were made 10 years ago still look incredible, you know?
Yeah. Like,
Uncharted 4 is one of the best-looking video games ever made, and it came out in 2016. And it's still... Like, on original hardware, it ran at 30 FPS, but... You know, you play it on PS5 now, it still looks completely modern.
Yeah. I think there's always something to be said for like trying to push the art and the craft forward wherever you can, but at the same time, like nothing wrong with refining what we know works.
I think we're just like to such a point of diminishing returns when it comes to realistic graphics, and we have been for a long time. Like, you're gonna have to go for more stylization. You're gonna have to go for more, unique aesthetics in order to stand out now. You can't just be, look at how realistic my game is.
Yeah. I think for a very long time, like, reading part of a book, I'm talking about some of like the id Software guys back in the 90s, and even back then, they were all about like trying to make the most quote-unquote realistic video games they could with the technology they had. Mm-hmm. The problem is that the technology they had just wasn't nearly as advanced as what we have today. It's like, video game developers have always been aiming for realism in some form or another.
For sure.
Like, we're there, so now they have to figure out something else to do. In a weird way.
And, like, I'm all for that. Like, realistic visuals always did impress. Like, I'll never forget, seeing Shenmue for the first time. And, like, I can't deny that was a big part of the appeal, but I think even back then, like, stuff like Jet Set Radio, or even, like, Zelda the Wind Waker, like, I remember the Wind Waker controversy very well. But,
yeah.
Like, something like that always just seemed a lot more interesting to me than trying to push for the most realistic graphics possible.
Yeah, for sure.
I see somebody in the chat talking about Ego Raptor, so that's fun.
I don't remember who it was, but I remember somebody talking about like some specific video game. I don't remember which one, but the line they used was, "The unique is rarely successful, and the successful is rarely unique." And if something is both unique and successful, it's not going to be unique for long.
I see what it's saying. I was about to say that just seems kind of cynical, but yeah, if you're successful, then you're gonna get ripped off a whole lot.
Yeah.
Which is very much what happened to Sonic in the 90s.
Yeah.
The attitudinal animal mascot platformer became like a whole thing for a long time. Until, like... And not just Sonic, but also Sega's whole edgy marketing campaign became like the default state of all video game marketing.
Yeah, like it obviously you lived through this, so it's probably not as weird to you, but to me, as somebody who'd never lived through the play it loud thing, that just seems so alien to me now.
Yeah, where, like, to me, that is, like... there'll always be a part of me that's like, why isn't Nintendo marketing like this? This is the ideal way. You need to tell me that Earthbound stinks to get me interested in it. Otherwise, I don't care. Yeah, I can't remember what it was just now, but I think it might have been from the video game. Yeah, it was from the Video Game History Foundation, and they do excellent work. But they made a video about Earthbound a month or two ago.
Oh yeah.
That made the exact point and like had like well-researched references about it. Like, I've always tried to push this. Like, there was nothing unusual to me about Earthbound's marketing campaign. That was just what video game marketing, and really, like, marketing to young boys in general, was in the mid-90s. That's what everything was like. That's what everything was pushing.
Yeah. Like, at best, maybe it was on the way out by then, but even then...
Like, extreme, in-your-face, gross-out stuff. That was the way.
Yep.
I do remember, though, the scratch and sniff cards for Earthbound were absolutely disgusting. I hated those things. I remember I went and got, like, I don't know, Cinch or something, like some kind of a household cleaner out of the closet, and sprayed it all over the cards in a vain attempt to, like, make my magazine readable, because it bugged me so much. And of course, that just made them spell even worse.
Someone says, remember the Star Fox 64 barf bag ad?
Oh yeah, hated that. Hated that. My least favorite one was always the Yoshi's Island print ad, which showed a scene with, like, actual poop everywhere.
Oh god, I think I've seen that one.
like it sticks in your mind, I guess, but man, I did not appreciate some of that stuff.
Yeah.
The barf bag ad, yeah, that was bad. Then, of course, having to portray Kirby as, like, being super hardcore. Making Kirby into a little badass.
I love that the North American, like, was it Kirby Air Ride with the angry eyebrows?
Oh, lots of Kirby games did that. Like, Air Ride was not the only one.
Oh, okay.
It was pretty common for a while there that, like... like, some of them would, like Kirby Air Ride would even share, like, the same exact box art, and even the same name, but just the only difference would be Kirby would be making angry eyebrows instead of smiling happily. Which is hilarious because, like, you still have to go to the store and ask and buy a copy of a game called Kirby Squeak Squad. You know? About a little pink round thing. Ugh, I do not like Spring Stadium. I still, like, I can beat it now, but this is definitely my least favorite level in this game. I don't like the music in either version, I don't like the aesthetic, I don't like the layout, I don't like the gimmicks. If I'm trying to play 3D Blast just for myself, this is where I always stop.
We must do it for the people.
Oh, I forgot. I don't think I ever paused during Rusty Ruin, but there's the pause screen for that. And I need to stop for just a second so I can talk to my wife for a second. Because she should be home soon, so give me a minute. Darkwing, you can still talk to the people if you want to, but no pressure.
Alright, chat. Trying to think of a good conversation starter. Alright, chat room. Let me ask you something. The X button on the controller, is that, when you think X button, is that the top button, the left button, or the bottom button? I'm curious what you guys all think. Stage's aesthetic is like if a clown became an entire stage. I will not disagree. That's just a little busy. Or Sonic 1 special stage, yeah. Bottom, top, bottom button. A lot of bottoms here. Rightmost button on the 6-button pad. You know what? I appreciate that one. Yeah, I wish that there were more 6-button controllers these days. I miss I say miss. I didn't grow up with a Saturn, but I do wish that we still had 6-button controllers. Some of that alternates between Steam Deck and Nintendo. The question is hell. I'm impressed that nobody said like the X button on a keyboard. And we know X is up because Y being left became normal for me thanks to a bunch of Mario Kart. Makes sense. Bottom button is actually a cross. Yeah, like logically, I know that it should be a cross on the PlayStation controller, but like it's just X everywhere else, so my brain just cannot adjust to that. 6-button controllers would definitely be useful for fighting games today. Yeah. X being on the right. I'm just waiting for somebody to make like some goofy controller where like the X button actually is the right one.
They still make 6-button controllers. The problem is that no fighting game since Marvel vs. Capcom 2 has been has really been built with the expectation that you'll have a 6-button controller.
Yeah. Like where is it? Somewhere in here I've got like a reproduction 6-button controller for like PC, and I think that the far right buttons are just like R1 and R2.
Right. My actual answer though is that it does. I don't. I grew up with way too many video game consoles. It's never really a problem for me.
Yeah, I use an Xbox controller for like all of my different emulator things, so like I just have to remember, okay, that says X, but it actually means hit A, or that says X, but it actually means Y.
Yeah, like I never look at the controller anyway. So
Yeah,
it's what, like if I'm playing Mario, for instance, like I know, like you do a spin jump in Mario World with the right mouse button. It doesn't really matter what it's called.
yeah. The only time it ever messes me up is with a QuickTime event or something.
Ooh, yeah, that can be a little tough.
Like I was playing through all of the God of War games for the first time recently, and there's a bunch of QuickTime events in that, and those kept screwing me up.
Were you playing with it on like a PlayStation controller or an X? Oh, you said you use Xbox.
Yeah, I was just playing it in an emulator.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I played so much for Rapper the Rapper that, like, if anything, the PlayStation controller layout is probably the easiest because you get those symbols.
Makes sense.
One thing I do really wish though, this bugs the fuck out of me with the PS5 and really with everything except the Xbox right now. Nobody wants to have colors on their buttons anymore.
Yeah.
Like, why is the PS5 controller just like they're all the same color button? Like it was so much easier to read it when like those button prompts and stuff would have like a pop of color to them.
Also, are you playing the game? Because I still see the "Be Back Soon" screen.
Yeah, no, I'm talking to Alicia while I talk to you.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Be cool to invest in a fight stick for retro games. Just a little expensive for me to stomach. You know, Arios, they actually do make like relatively inexpensive like 6-button controllers that just don't have the analog sticks, just for games like that. Like I think I got one of those on like Amazon for like 15-20 bucks. And it works great for if you're like emulating a Sega Saturn or something.
Yeah, there's a controller, I think it's called the M30. It's like a Genesis / Saturn style controller with a really fantastic D-pad, 6 buttons and L&R buttons, and a bunch of like function buttons, and it is excellent. I would highly recommend that one if you want a 6-button controller.
Yeah. I'm digging through my drawer of things. Where does this thing have? Yeah, I have an 8-bit one that does something very similar. All right, see ya, Joe.
Thank you for coming. Grab a Sharpie and color the etching. No, it's not the visuals of the controller themselves that bug me. It's the fact that like in-game button prompts like it means the in-game button prompts don't have colors on them, which means like you have to take like this extra bit of processing time like figuring out what they are, whereas like on the PS4, if you saw purple, you know that's square.
Yeah. Just like the more there's probably some study behind that, but like the more different like bits of visual indication you can give to somebody, the better. Especially for somebody who's young and like the symbols don't mean much, but they know what colors mean.
Yeah,
because they can't read yet.
Neon Icy says Nintendo never went back to color buttons since the GameCube, aside from the new 3DS, funnily. Yeah, that is weird. Spud Ninja says, full disclosure, I'm that asshole who bought a PSP specifically because of that one ad containing potentially racially insensitive talking cartoon squirrels. I, too, am playing Portable Nut. I remember that ad well.
Okay, chat, I'm curious. What's everybody here's favorite game controller? Like official, unofficial, whatever. I'm always partial to Xbox controllers, but I've recently discovered that some of 8-bit DOS things, and they are amazing. And I refuse to go back to anything like first party ever again.
8-bit DOS does make some really great stuff.
Yeah, I'm a total convert to their stuff.
All right, I've used an Xbox Series controller for a long, long time now, and before that, like my daily driver, going back like 15 years on PC, was a 360 controller. So,
yeah. Wii Classic Controller Pro, GameCube, Switch 2 Pro. I don't think I've ever like used any of the like Nintendo Pro controllers for very long. Like I think I've held one of them in a store once, but I've never like used them for extended periods of time.
They've all been really good in my book. And they keep like improving on each other. Like the Wii U Pro controller was absolutely fantastic. The rumble was very weak in it, but other than that, like the battery life on it was absolutely insane, and it just I like the layout of that one a lot. And then
nice.
the Switch 1 Pro controller is great, and the Switch 2 Pro controller, especially if you're lucky enough to get one where like the D-pad diagonals don't do weird shit, and I know you can mod it to help with that. God, I'm so lost, by the way. But that one just feels absolutely fantastic. The only thing that I don't like about it is that it doesn't have like the analog triggers, which matters quite a bit in certain games. But other than that, I really, really like the Switch 2 Pro controller.
Somebody likes the PS5 DualSense.
I'm actually going to consult the map here. Where? Oh, I guess I maybe need to... This map isn't very helpful. Well, I need to at least try to stop going in circles. So let's try going this way. Yeah, that was it.
Leon says, I like the Wii U Pro controller, but just prefer the Wii Classic Pro one. The shape and button layout is better. Makes sense.
Yeah, I don't like PlayStation-style controllers because I've never liked the stick placement on them. Like, I got used to it eventually, and I think the PS4 controller especially is actually really, really good. But I like the sticks to either be... Basically, I like the main analog stick to be in the upper position, one way or the other.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that PlayStation controllers always had... Like, they always felt just kind of grafted onto me, because, like, the original PlayStation controller didn't have analog sticks, and so they stuck them down there in, like, the only place they could have. And, like, that made sense at the time, but it always... I think people just got very, very used to it, though. I mean, a lot of people, like, that was all they knew growing up at this point, so it would be weird to change it now, and I get why they don't, but...
I'm too Xbox build. I just like the asynchronous or the asymmetrical layouts.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Like the Wii U, both the gamepad and its Pro Controller had both of the sticks symmetrical but on top, and I didn't mind that. Actually, the Steam Deck does that too, come to think of it.
That one makes more sense to me, yeah.
God, I hate Spring Stadium. I'm so sick of this layout. I'm so sick of these visuals. I'm so sick of this music.
Yeah, this stage looks like a bit of a mess.
It really is, yeah.
This feels like one of those things where, like, it's not a problem now, but I feel like back in the day, this is one of those levels that if you tried to record a video of this, it would just kill the bitrate.
I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. Well, no, you're looking at it. You would know.
It looks fine now, but, like, I know back in the day, like, there were certain, like, levels in, like, old Doom that would just kill the bitrate because there were so many colors flying around everywhere.
Right. Yeah, so a lot of stuff in like pixel art games tends to do that even now. Like the waterfall at the end of Angel Island Zone in Sonic 3 will will always make the bitrate freak out.
Yeah.
Just because modern video codecs are not made for like every pixel shifting every frame like that.
Yeah. I do wish they'd figure out how to port Sega Sonic the Hedgehog to modern hardware, even if I know the trackball controls are a pain in the ass to replicate. Yeah, that would be nice to have in some form today. Like, surely they must be able to make that work on PC with a mouse.
I've had a Steam Deck for years and I still haven't done it. Like, I think, like, I always feel pressure with that because it's one of the only Sonic games that I've never played in any way, shape, or form. So whenever I do, I feel like I need to make content out of it, you know?
I wonder if they can make it work with, like, a DS stylus or something. And just scratch the heck out of the touchscreen.
I'm sure it could work, like, the controls for it could work. The problem is, I don't think there's any way the DS or maybe the 3DS could emulate it, though. The DS probably gonna. But I have, from what I've heard, the Steam Deck's trackpads are like perfect for it.
Interesting. Have you gotten one of those, like, not the Steam Deck, but like the new Steam controller thingies they made?
No, I don't have one.
Okay.
Never had one of the old Steam controllers either. I don't really... Like, if I'm going to be playing a PC game, then I'm going to be playing it with a mouse and keyboard, you know?
Okay, fair enough.
Like, I do all of my gaming setting right here in front of my computer, whether I'm playing console or not, so it doesn't really seem like much of a... It'd be a hard sell for me, basically.
Okay.
Do I hear a dog or something? I think I hear a dog. Maybe.
Sorry about that. I was trying to find a mute button on my headset.
Oh, you're good.
PCs are being loud today.
Yeah, my cats are being pretty calm. Also, these special stages just get, like, proper challenging over time. Like, the first one is pretty basic. The first one is very much like a 3D version of a Sonic 2 special stage. But, like, they just keep throwing more things at you.
Oh, shut up. You know I'm a cat, not a dog.
Like, look at this.
Oh yeah, that's super nice looking.
We've been watching a lot of the Viz dub of Sailor Moon lately. Speaking of, Salato mentioned Johnny Young Bosch, and JYD plays Artemis in that. I haven't played this, but I hear this is the best variation of a half-pipe special stage we've ever gotten. It's probably my favorite. It's like down to it or Sonic Rush, and they're both so close, but I think I'd just barely give the edge to this. Like, I think 3D Blast for the Saturn is totally worth playing at least once, just for how good the special stages are. Kay says, I love Sonic's little poses to the camera during these. Yeah, they're so cute.
One thing I still vividly remember is people's reaction to Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games being announced. Tons of forums were like, is this a bit?
It was so weird, dude! We knew about that before we knew about Sonic and Brawl, okay?
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yep. Like, I was excited not for it, because that was just such a weird thing to do, but, like, I was excited because I was like, okay, well, if they're doing this, there's no way he won't be in Brawl. That would be absolute insanity, and indeed he was in Brawl, and it was the most exciting thing that ever happened.
Is that the I'm curious, is that the most excited you've ever been for a Smash Bros. Announcement?
Oh,
or
yeah.
something else topped it? Okay.
Absolutely, absolutely. There will never be anything that can top that.
Okay.
I pretty regularly post, like, an image on Blue Sky of, like, a forum that I was on back then from the night that Sonic was revealed. Because, like, the Smash Brothers Dojo updated at 3 a.m. Eastern Time. So, like, I was always staying up super late to see what it was going to be. My sleep schedule was absolutely fucked even then. And, you know, most of the time it was just like a very minor thing, like, here's the bat, you can use it to, the home run bat, and there'd be a cute little description of it. Like, you never knew what you were going to get with it. Like, sometimes it would be that, sometimes it would be a new stage, sometimes it would be a new character, and sometimes it would be Sonic.
I wish that more video game marketing did stuff like that these days. But, like, just random, like, oh, here's one fact a day things.
It was, like, Smash Brothers aside, it was very uncommon even then. I think it was taking advantage of, like, how popular the blog format was.
I mean, I guess if you were to do it these days, it would just be, like, one tweet per day. And at that point, it just feels a lot less special.
Yeah, well, Nintendo really wants you to download the Nintendo Today app, where they do actually they have, like, broken a lot of announcements on there since they put it up. But yeah, so Sonic was revealed for Brawl on October 10th, 2007. That date meant so much to me that my wedding day was October 10th, 2020. And that was completely on purpose.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yep.
And that would have been, what, about almost a year exactly after Sonic 06, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was another reason it was so special, because, like, Sonic was in such a bad way at the time, and, like, we really needed that kind of a win.
I bet.
Like, I remember one of the forum regulars at the time saying, like, you know, this is sort of our opportunity to be like, you know, this is what we want Sonic to be. This is... like, I don't know. It's hard to put into words. Like, it just felt like such a big win. It just felt like, God, that level took me 950. That's insane. But also, I remember the chat was talking about Ego Raptor a little while ago. It's so funny to see Sonic fans hate on Aaron Hansen so much, because I vividly remember a time when it seemed like the most hardcore people in the online fandom had, like, much more vitriolic, angry, like, I guess, is well thought out the right term?
longer and more detailed.
Longer and more detailed versions of all of his criticisms. Like, nothing that he ever said or did would have been controversial or unusual in, like, I don't know, 2004 to 2009. Like, compared to the stuff that I remember, everything he's ever said seems like pretty low-key and milquetoast, and, like, also just very well-worn. Like,
yeah.
Listening to Aaron Hansen talk about things in like, 2015 was like, oh yeah, okay, I've read that a billion times before. Because, you know, people are like, why would they make somebody who hates Sonic so much? Why would they market with him? And it's like, well, I mean, that's that was just sort of the default state of the fandom for a long time, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he hates Sonic, and I don't think that the people who were... I mean, I know for sure that the people who, like, were angry about those things back then, they definitely didn't hate Sonic. They cared about Sonic a whole lot. It's just, like... they hated the things that some other people now really like about Sonic. And I think it's really hard to, like, make that connection.
I think Aaron said, like, many years later, I like Sonic the characters and the world and everything because it's all so bright and colorful and cheery. He just doesn't like a lot of the specific games.
Yeah, and that's totally fair. Sonic is a very acquired taste that has gone in lots and lots of different directions.
Yeah.
And I think especially, like I was talking about with my best friend's son, like, being such a Nintendo kid, like, even now, the fact that Sonic, like, did so much to be different than other platformers makes it weird to get into if you have a lot of familiarity with them.
Oh, yeah.
Because it just feels like it's doing things wrong.
Yeah, it's hard to break some of those habits, especially if they're habits that you developed as a kid. Like, why doesn't this game have a run button?
Yeah. Well, play Lost World.
Yeah.
Chat, do we give it to... You know, I feel like I've gotten into almost every special stage with Knuckles, so I'm gonna give it to Tails this time.
He deserves it.
Nobody hated Sonic back in the day more than his loyal fans.
Yeah.
Often true now, too, though, to be fair.
I feel like you could say that about, like, anything remotely popular.
It's true, yeah.
Because, like, I know that there's a line somewhere, like, oh, nobody hates Halo as much as Halo fans.
You hear that about Sonic, you hear that about Zelda.
Star Wars.
Star Wars, for sure. Star Wars is a huge one. Somebody asked me on Blue Sky a while back, what do you think of the Amazing Digital Circus? And I haven't seen any of the Amazing Digital Circus. But it strikes me exactly the same way that Steven Universe always did before I watched it, which is like, if I watch this, I'm probably really going to enjoy it. Like, I think I'd probably like it a lot. But I already know to never, ever, ever go anywhere near its fans.
Yep.
Or like a while back, Alicia and I were watching Jujutsu Kaisen, and we absolutely loved it. We binged the shit out of it and had a great time. And then she went on the subreddit one time and it was like, wow, this is the most miserable place in the entire world. Because, yeah, like, especially on the modern internet, like, anything popular is just gonna catch, like, so much derision, both from people who don't like it, and people who like it too much. Like, you get rewarded for acting that way on a lot of platforms now.
Especially if it's, like, even a little bit kid-friendly, because you know that a lot of that audience is going to be young kids who are not used to the whole thing, if you will.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it, too.
Like, Undertale was another one of those.
Oh yeah, Undertale. Undertale had a terrible reputation because of how people acted about it.
I feel like stuff like Undertale and Amazing Digital Circus is kind of like baby's first fandom, if you know what I mean? Or like it's your first time getting super invested in an online community and nobody knows how to behave.
Yeah, Undertale was like... I remember when you would, like, everybody was trying to, like, anybody remotely popular, anybody with any kind of a following, it was like, you need to stream Undertale, you need to stream Undertale, you need to play Undertale. So, like, that alone is going to push people away from it. But then when they would do it, when they would play Undertale, if they didn't play it exactly right, the chat would get mad at them.
Yep.
Like there's a correct way to play it.
How could you not know this thing that you could not possibly have known until your third playthrough?
Yeah, I feel like Undertale is the sort of game where doing it with an audience is just... doing it the first time with an audience is not the intended experience.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember I was playing it, like, in our Discord group. I was playing it for the first time a few years ago, and, like, I had, like, my own little thread where I was just, like, live blogging it, and there were so many, like... spoiler tags for people saying, "Oh, is he gonna figure out this thing?"
Right. But because like that's what's great about it, because there is so much to like discover and uncover with it, and like you beat it. Like I played it once, and then I was like, finally, I can like go through and like see all the shit that I missed, and it has so much of like, what's the TV tropes thing where it's like the developer knew you'd do that. It has so many examples of that. And also, like, I remember before I ever played it, Shaymay was talking about it on Twitter way back when. This would have been 2015. And he was talking about how he, like, killed the first boss because he couldn't figure out how not to. And, you know, if you've played Undertale, you know exactly what this is about. He killed the first boss because he couldn't figure out how not to, and then he had a conversation with the character immediately afterward that sort of clued him in that, no, there is a way. There is a way that you can go back. The character is like... if only there was some way you could go back and try again, but you can't. Ha 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 ha. Which clued him in that, okay, well, there must be a way to do it. So he reloaded the save file and played it again and figured out how to spare the first boss. And then that character shows up again and calls you out for doing that. Like, the game knows that you did that. And that was the point where the game really hooked him. And that was also the point where I was like, okay, I need to check this thing out. Because that sounds incredible. I don't know why I'm talking like anybody who wants to play Undertale hasn't at this point, but, you know, just in case.
Developer's foresight, yeah, I think that's the term.
By the way, tip for when you play 3D Blast, because you definitely will, because Spring Stadium is just so engaging. If you're ever curious if you have all of the flickies, then you can just stand still, and as long as they make a complete ring around you, that means you do have them all picked up. Also, I don't think this happens in the Genesis version. I could be wrong, I never stand still for long enough, but I don't remember the flickies, like, going into their own idle animation on the Genesis version. That's adorable. I love that. Asparagus Eduardo says, are you thinking of playing Deltarune? Oh, I've played every chapter of Deltarune at least like 3 times, including the one that just came out. Like, I always, when I play Deltarune, I always play, like, once just beating it, then I play it again doing, like, everything perfectly, and getting it, like, 100%, and finding the egg, and, like, fighting the hidden boss and doing all that stuff. And then, of course, I do a weird route playthrough. Which, boy, that weird route in the new chapter. Ooh, I ain't gonna say anything else about it because it's still pretty new, but wow.
I haven't played Deltarune, I'm ignorant of this, but I just love that, like, you can call it weird route, and that's just a thing in the game. I just love that name.
Yep, it's pretty weird. It's also very well hidden. Like, you have to do some really esoteric things to even get on it in the first place. I need to not look at chat during this boss battle, apparently. Ooh, shit. You know, the bosses in this game are pretty good.
This one seems neat.
Mostly, though, I'm just excited that I don't have to play Spring Stadium anymore after this. I feel like I've been here for like half the stream now.
we did take a break in the middle of it, so...
True. Saw somebody say earlier that they like how, like, just touching Tails and Knuckles teleports you into the special stage. It's clear in this version, anyway, that they're supposed to, like, be bringing you there. In the Genesis version, you just touch them and then you do teleport into the special stage and they don't show up anymore. But it is kind of weird. It's a lot like how in Donkey Kong Country 2, the Kong family charges you for, like, tips and using a save point and stuff like that. Like, it's kind of dickish that they expect payment for doing this. When you're trying to save the world! What do Tails and Knuckles need with those rings? They're not helping.
Somebody says this or Lost Impact, which is worse.
Lost Impact. No,
okay.
No doubt about it, Lost Impact.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
This boss be like 6-7! Making 6-7 references at any point after 12, 31, 25 is even funnier. Keep doing it.
Agreed. That is exactly one of those memes. It's like, oh, it's funnier once it's old and dead and nobody wants to do it anymore, and that's what makes it funny.
Yeah, like, it's not... I feel like it's less funny this year than it was last year, but like 10 years from now, it's gonna be fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very, very, very tied forever to the mid-2020s.
Like, I don't know about you, but I am absolutely the person who will still make the cake is a lie jokes completely unironically just because I know it makes people mad.
Well, see, no, it's actually funny again because nobody does it anymore, you know?
Exactly.
Honestly, Sanic would be pretty funny at this point, and I never thought I'd say that.
True.
When I was in college, Sanic was so fucking huge, like, every single time that Sonic came up around me, and Sonic comes up a lot around me, like, everybody would start saying Sanic. They just, like it was his name. People would just say, like, they weren't laughing, they weren't joking, there was no clever, it was just, oh yeah, I've been playing Sanic Generations. I got so sick of it.
Yeah.
But now
I remember
But now it's funny.
I remember that being in high school, too. I think I remember that as well.
They even referenced it in the movie.
Did they? I don't remember that.
It's been a long time since I've seen the movie. It was the first movie. It was, I think it might
have been one of the drawings in his room or something.
I think it was the, like, most of the town doesn't know that Sonic is real, but there's an old crazy guy who does know that Sonic exists, and he's like, he looks like this! And it's Sonic.
That's right.
I think that's it.
That sounds right.
Merry Christmas, Josh. Merry Christmas, Neon Icy. That's an appropriate name for this.
Literal Christmas in July right now.
It's like playing Freezy Peak in Banjo-Kazooie for the first time. That game came out at the end of June in '98, so... That's always been very much like a summertime game for me.
What if those little ice block things were what the Sonic Mania guys were referencing? Like, I wonder if that was an intentional callback to this game.
Well, you know, I never thought of that, but... There's that, and then in Sonic CD, in a Wacky Workbench, oddly enough, there's like a hazard that can freeze you, but you can, like, bounce out of it. And then there's the boss of Ice Cap Zone that can freeze you in an ice block. But, you know, to be fair, what's different about this one and the one in Mania is that, like, you get frozen and then, like, you can still slide around. But yeah, I'd say so. I never clocked that before, though. That's cool.
We need to take this joke from Jim Carrey in the next movie.
I am shocked. I haven't seen movies 2 or 3, but I am shocked that they haven't done that. Or at least, I guess it would be kind of hard to like reference without just saying it, and they can't just say it. You could have him say snooping as usual. I see. That'd do it.
Yeah, that one I could see. Like maybe they just don't want to reference fan memes or something.
What? No. Well, I mean, Sonic was a fan meme.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
That was way more insulting anyway.
Sonic, if I remember right, there was that tutorial, there was like a how to draw Sonic tutorial. I think that's where it originated. And then I remember there was a parody of the Sonic Generations trailer before it came out that showed like Ma-Darn Sonic and Lil Sonic as playable characters. I think that was the first time I ever saw anything about it. They said snooping as usual in Sonic Boom. That's good. They did reference Latinas, though. That's hilarious.
Jim Carrey literally said that his piece of shiitake planet at one point he can do what he wants. You know what? Fair enough.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's the method, though. We need to make Jim Carrey aware of it. Oh yeah, snooping as usual, I said. That's a very old meme. The Shadow Jin's reveal, but Sonic is there instead of Shadow. Oh, if only.
They should do like a, for the 40th anniversary, they should do like another big Sonic crossover game where they get like Classic Sonic, Modern Sonic, Boom Sonic, and Sonic all together in one game.
That would be a complete clusterfuck, and I would love it.
Agreed.
Like, there is no way that would be remotely a good video game.
I would say it'd be good.
But it would be an interesting video game, and sometimes that's better.
Exactly.
Yeah, I kind of have the same problem with the Sonic movies that I do with Sega Sonic Arcade at this point, where it's been long enough that, like, me doing anything with them, I feel an extra pressure with it, where I need to turn it into content. Same deal with Murder of Sonic, which I believe is the only Sonic thing that you have experienced that I haven't.
It's that and movies 2 and 3, I guess.
Oh yeah, okay. I didn't remember that you. I didn't know if you'd seen them or not.
Yeah.
Murder of Sonic would be a lot easier to just play on a screen, though.
Yeah, you could knock it out in like 2 hours or something. Also, that actually would be good stream material now that I think about it.
I'll probably do that sometime. It's that came out, what was that, like April Fool's Day 2023, 2024? I think it was 2024.
2023? Let me see. Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. 2023, yeah.
I remember when it came out, I was joking like, well, I don't know if I really need to play it. Like, it's a Sonic game that doesn't have a jump button. And somebody was like, no, Josh, it does have a jump button. I'm like, ah, shit. I am gonna have to play it.
Yeah, there's like a little... I won't say it.
No, I know. I've heard about that.
Okay.
Did you ever check the official Sonic timeline? Sonic 4 takes place before Adventure 1. Oh, the official Sonic timeline. They've said so many things, and it's been so much in flux over the years, and it probably will be again sooner or later.
Oh, yeah. It's one of those things where, unless it's one single writer doing the whole thing, Japan doesn't care about continuity.
Well, it can, like, most of it can generally go wherever you want to put it anyway.
Yeah.
I remember there being a lot of, like, hand-wringing back in the day because, like, Sonic 4... like, wanted to, like, canonically connect to Sonic CD. And this is gonna sound so foreign to a lot of you guys, but at that time, the vast majority of the vocal people in the fandom were, like, keep your modern Sonic away from Sonic CD. Like, they wanted classic Sonic and modern Sonic to just be completely separate continuities. And a lot of people at that time were just like, they need to just, like, stop doing modern Sonic entirely. They need to just declare all of this non-canon and go back to the good stuff. So, there was, at one time, this weird amount of consternation over the fact that, like, Sonic CD was even being referenced in Sonic 4, because, like, modern Sonic doesn't deserve to, like... I went completely backwards. Classic Sonic only has good games, like Sonic 3D Blaster.
It's so wild to me that, like, the idea of classic Sonic was a fan thing at first.
The terms came right out of us. Like, everybody was, like, the term modern Sonic and classic Sonic was, like, in heavy use and in heavy rotation in the fandom for a long, long time before Sega made it official.
Yeah, like, I never knew that until you told me about it a few years ago.
Yeah, I have, like personal documents going back to, like, 2007, 2008, where, like, I was trying to, like, write out what I thought the differences were gameplay-wise for me, because of course, you know, it's always very gameplay-focused. But I was like, you know, this is what modern Sonic games do, and this is how they differ from classic Sonic games. But yeah, that was... like, everybody knew when Generations was revealed, like, this is for us. You know, this is because we were so very incessantly whiny about everything for years and years and years and years. And there was some degree of, like, I don't know if all of you guys really deserve this. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people have been such enormous assholes about it.
Yeah. Roland Kardik says, I mean, if modern Sonic is so good, then why does modern Sonic not have the bridge zone?
That's true. Oh yeah, Frontiers 2 got tied to Sonic CD.
When are they making Sonic Blu-ray? That's what I want to know. They've only got like 3 years left, or 2 years left.
Yep, gotta get that out before January 2028.
It's funny how people are trying to, like, use the January 2028 thing as a way to predict when certain games are going to come out.
Are they? I didn't know that.
Yeah, like, apparently the new God of War game, there was a tweet saying, oh, the game's gonna come on our discs. And so people are like, alright, well, now we know this game's coming out before January 2028.
Well, that's true. I mean, that was probably a pretty safe bet.
Yeah. Like, now people are doing that for, like, I think I saw people trying to do that for Persona 6 or whatever.
Right. I wonder if it's gonna be, like, all discs will be, like... I wonder if they'll still, like, let you have a disc if you want one. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Like if you're doing, like, a special edition kind of thing.
I know they said that they're still going to keep producing discs for, like, games that came out before then. Like, you'll be able to... A publisher will be able to, like, reorder a new print run of old games or something.
Alright, my wife just got home and she brought food and I really, really, really need to eat. So,
alright.
I will be back after a while and we will start exactly from here. There is a part of me, there's a big part of me that's very tempted to just cut 3D Blast and go on and play Sonic Adventure 2, but I have to do this. You understand. There's just something that compels me. I have to finish Sonic 3D Blast. So, it'll probably be in an hour or two, but I might lose my gumption and continue this tomorrow. We'll see. Either way, thank you all for being here. Have an excellent afternoon. Go fix yourself some food. Alicia is behind the green screen, but if you could see her, she would tell you to drink some water and do something nice for yourself. Or so I imagine. I actually don't know if she's in here. I can't see around the green screen. But all right. Keep geeking. I'll keep critiquing.